Welcome to Manny's TV Talk, where we will talk about all of our favorite reality TV shows and news surrounding them. Grab a snack, a drink, and get comfortable because this starts now.
Just because you say something emphatically doesn't make it true.
Because you do this with your hands doesn't make it true either.
Hello everybody and welcome in. Today we're going to be discussing the new episode of The Real Housewives of Orange County. That's episode 13 of season 17. One of the best seasons that I've seen in a while. If you guys are not watching the Orange County Housewives, y'all need to, because this is a great season. And by the way, for this week and this week only, we're going to be getting Salt Lake City, which was yesterday, Orange County today, Atlanta Housewives on Sunday, and then New York Housewives after that. So 4 freaking Housewives all in the same week, but just for this week only. So the episode starts with Shannon, and she's going to go see the doctor because she's been very stressed lately. The doctor does some sort of massage, I don't know, but Shannon is going to be doing business with the doctor. They're going to be coming up with a new colonic. She has to pay a lot of bills, so she's doing what she can do. Moving along, Jen is hanging out with her mom at the house. They're making some cookies. Then they go sit and talk. Jen and her mom have always had a great relationship and they've always been really close. But she lives in Oklahoma, so she doesn't get to see her that often. But they're pretty close and they talk about everything. They're talking about the divorce that Jen went through. And it's sad because her ex, Will, sounds like he was a good guy. Because the mom got emotional talking about him. She really liked him. He must have been a great son-in-law. As far as Ryan, the mom hasn't met him, so she's going to be meeting him for the first time the next day. That's a pretty big deal. I really like seeing this scene because it kind of lets us get to know Jen a little bit better, and I feel like a lot of the audience is connecting with her. Then we see all the ladies get ready because they're going to be going to Heather's Fireside event. She's launching her own network called the HD Network, which HD are her initials, kind of like the OWN network, the Oprah Winfrey Network, but this network is, like I said, on an app called Fireside. The party was very pretty, of course. She has a lot of money, so I wasn't expecting anything less. It wasn't like out of this world, but it was very elegant. Everybody that's in the cast went except Shannon, who is in Texas to go see her daughter in college. But I think she really didn't want to go because Heather didn't go to her event, to be honest. So she didn't go. By the way, Emily is a little bit upset because Heather told Emily recently that somebody was talking smack about her in BravoCon. That someone being Shannon. And when Emily asked, well, what did she say? Heather responds, I can't tell you. It's in the vault. So she has that on her mind. Heather is also super busy right now because they're moving, so they had to get out of the house and they're now staying at a hotel. So they sit around in her event and they have some lunch. And Heather explains her app a little bit more. There is some shade thrown by Tamra because she says that the app sort of sounds like a copy of TikTok or Instagram. Then Jen tells the group that her mom is going to be meeting Ryan. And the girls also say that they need a little break from their lives, so they decide to go to Mexico, which is going to be this season's cast trip. Now let's talk about Emily for a second because Emily was wasted AF. She had a lot to drink, and once they were at that lunch, she was doing some of the craziest things, eating the food all weird, saying things out loud, like comments such as, oh, Heather, why don't you put HR on more stuff? Because her initials were on practically everything. And she even said, I'm surprised we didn't get branded with that when we walked in. Which, it's funny, but y'all know how uppity and preppy Heather is. So she was really bothered seeing Emily act this way. And to be honest, even though I'm saying it's funny, if it was my event, maybe I would be bothered too. I think Heather was very close to kicking her out. After the party's over, Terry and Heather go to their house. And it's going to be the last time that they see this house because it's sold and they're going to be moving in the next day. They open a bottle of champagne and Heather mentions how rude she thinks Emily behaved and that it's things like those which are the reason she hasn't told them about the house. Like she hasn't said anything to any of them. But then Terry and Heather dance across the house. It was such a cute scene seeing them do that for the last time. Say what you will about Heather, which, I just did. But that was a really nice scene. I really enjoyed it. The next thing we get is Shannon. She's outside of her house and Tamra FaceTimes her. Shannon says that she feels awful, like she's sick or something. Tamra fills her in on what happened at the party, and looks like after the party, Heather called Shannon personally, very upset, and was scolding her for not letting her know that she wasn't going. Tamra also tells her about the Mexico trip, and right in the middle of that phone call, the news about the house being sold for $55 million dropped on the internet. So they show all of the women's reactions because they didn't have a clue. And they all had just seen her yesterday. And Tamra is going to definitely make something out of this because she says to Shannon, it's interesting that she gets mad at you for not sharing about your relationship, but she has all these secrets. Then we get to see the Ryan, Jen, and her mom scene. So they're getting together. It's the three of them going to have some dinner. And right off the bat, he says, listen, I was a cheater. I did this. I did that. Which, good for him for opening up. But yikes, that's a lot to digest, the first time you're meeting someone. The mom says, yeah, she has some concerns. And the mom brings up Will, Jen's ex-husband. And the mom says, he's a great dad. And he was a great husband. And Jen says, yeah, definitely a great dad. And the mom says, but yeah, a great husband too. Look, I'm telling you, the mom really liked him. As far as what plans they have for the future, Ryan says that he personally would love to see them engage after she finalizes her divorce. I think overall it went well. Also, this man, his outfit, I personally like his style because it's kind of like crazy and fun. But not for a formal date that you're going to be meeting your girlfriend's mom for the first time. He could have done better. Okay, so then we see the ladies pack, travel, and arrive to Mexico. They live in California, so it wasn't a super long flight to get there. But they're at Playa del Carmen, and seeing them try to speak Spanish made my day. So they got actual suites. Not hotel rooms, suites, which, wow, beautiful. They look like freaking penthouses. So Tamra and Shannon were in one, Jen and Taylor were in another one, and Emily, Gina, and Heather were in the other one. So they get dressed and head over to have dinner. By the way, I have no idea how the weather was, but from what I could see, it looked like the weather was perfect. If that makes sense. I know I wasn't there, but okay, never mind. So there's a big elephant in the room. Heather in the house. So Tamra brings it up. And Heather is telling them, oh yeah, we sold it. We had to be out of there in 3 weeks. We're now in a hotel. And they're all like, wow, we had no idea. You never mentioned it. Which they were coming across as haters, not gonna lie. But Heather says, well, to be honest, I didn't feel comfortable saying it. I don't feel like y'all would have cared or y'all would have been bothered. I don't know. And Shannon says, oh, well, interesting that you criticize me for not sharing, but you certainly don't. And Heather gets very defensive. She says, I didn't want the news to be out. I do share things. Y'all are accusing me of stuff, like staging paparazzi pictures. I guess that must have really bothered her for her to be bringing it up again. And then Emily jumps in to, say, Heather, like, whatever. And Heather is quick to, pivot Emily and say, Emily, girl, what's been up with you and your attitude? You were a D in my event. And Emily goes off. She says, all I said was that there was a lot of HD. We get it. It was just a funny joke. And Heather says, well, at some point, it's not a joke. And it hurt me. And then Emily says that Heather body shamed her when she said that some cookies looked like her breast. And then Heather says that Emily's the one that body shamed her when she said that she looked like a thin well trainer. And that it was very hurtful. So Emily says, well, I was very hurt by what you said to me. And she says it out loud. You told me that Shannon told you things in y'all's room about me. And Shannon says, what? I have never talked about any of y'all to Heather. But now, Heather is denying that she even said it to Emily. But Emily says it's true, and Gina says it's true because she was personally in the room. Heather says that, she's tired of being the scapegoat. And she tells Emily just because you say something emphatically doesn't make it true. And Emily says just because you do this with your effing hands doesn't make it true either. I'm telling y'all, I don't know where this Emily has been all these years, but this season, Emily is like, she's fighting for her life. And I'm loving every minute of it. If it wasn't Emily, if it was some other person, I probably would think she's annoying, but I am loving Emily Simpson this season. So that was the end of the episode. Next week we will return on this trip. Things are going to get heated once again with Tamra and Jen. I thought we had already ended this, but we have not. And Vicki is going to be coming, so that'll be fun seeing her in the mix. You guys, what did you think about this episode? The center focus was definitely Heather. So what did you think about her event? And what do you think about her and Emily and all of the other women in the group? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I catch y'all next time. You have a great one. Bye.